Trump's $3.4 trillion legislation, what it means for you, tax breaks, Medicaid cuts, and more. In a significant move, Congress has approved a massive $3.4 trillion legislative package, ushering in an era of new tax incentives, budget cuts, and increased spending on defense and immigration enforcement. President Donald Trump proudly hails it as his big, beautiful bill, even has concerns about its potential $4 trillion impact on the national debt over the next decade are voiced, particularly by those worried about fiscal responsibility. This expansive package is set to touch the lives of almost every American, irrespective of their age or earnings. Here's what it entails. Taxes, a boost for middle-income seniors. Middle-income seniors stand to gain one of the most substantial benefits from this bill, a $6,000 deduction for those aged 65 and older, earning up to $75,000 annually. $12,000 for a couple. This deduction reduces progressively for higher earners and phases out for individuals making over $175,000, or couples exceeding $250,000 per year. Healthcare. Medicaid's rocky road ahead. While Medicare is a trusted companion for many seniors' medical needs, it doesn't extend to long-term care. This gap often necessitates reliance on Medicaid, which currently supports more than 60% of the nation's nursing home residents. However, the bill's deep cuts to Medicaid could result in some nursing homes reducing services or closing, leaving seniors with fewer appropriate care options. For families, new benefits and some restrictions. Families with children will encounter both fresh and improved advantages. Child tax credit, now $2,200 per child, it will rise with inflation annually. However, non-citizens, regardless of their child's U.S. birth, are ineligible to claim it. Furthermore, the legislation doesn't modify provisions for families earning too little to access the full child tax credit, leaving about 25% of children affected. $1,000 for babies. For children born from 2025 to 2028, a new tax-deferred investment account will be established with an initial $1,000 from the government. Parents, employers, and charitable organizations can contribute to these accounts as well. Adoption and parental leave. The tax credit for adopting a child rises to $5,000 with adjustment for inflation. Additionally, the bill extends small programs supporting businesses offering parental leave and on-site daycare services. Tax cuts, keeping more in your pocket. The bill extends these tax cuts that were temporarily introduced during Trump's first term, which would have otherwise expired at year-end. The standard deduction is now raised to $15,750 for individuals and $31,500 for married couples, while maintaining the tax rates set in 2017. Tough choices, benefit reduction for low-income households. The bill's cutback in certain social services disproportionately impact low-income families compared to the benefits they receive. Medicaid, the bill proposes significant cuts, requiring beneficiaries to fulfill new work requirements or submit detailed documentation to maintain their coverage, potentially leaving many off to this elongated process, requiring terminations of quarterly mobility. SNAP, benefits from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program are also reduced, impacting those who rely on it to afford food. Tax benefits favoring the non-assisted and prospering middle income. Families not relying on public assistance are set to benefit particularly from the tax cuts and certain provisions, like favorable deductions for overtime income. For middle-income households earning between $53,300 and $92,100, the average tax cut is $1,510. Disproportionate tax reductions for the wealthy. The highest earners come out on top with the most significant tax reductions. An analysis by the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, ITEP, reveals that 72% of the total value of these tax cuts will flow to the top 20% of earners, with the top 1% alone accounting for over 20% of the cuts. Healthcare, a new challenge for Medicaid recipients. Medicaid cuts. The bill's unprecedented $1 trillion cut to Medicaid is expected to leave approximately 17 million Americans without their health coverage or insurance subsidies. Work and documentation requirements. For the first time, Medicaid recipients within 100% to 138% of the federal poverty line will need to prove they are working, volunteering, or pursuing education for at least 80 hours per month, a provision that many find challenging to meet. Those who meet the criteria will need to demonstrate their eligibility regularly. Tip income tax exclusions. The bill fulfills a Trump campaign promise by allowing up to $25,000 of tip income for earners up to $150,000 annually, or $300,000 for couples, to be exempt from taxation. The Treasury Department will oversee who qualifies for this tip income exemption. Tax credits and education loans. Limited tax credits. Non-citizen filers without Social Security numbers can no longer claim child tax credits or benefit from the updated tax guidelines on tips, overtime, and certain educational credits. Revised education loan terms. The bill ends the student loan forgiveness program from the Biden era and establishes new repayment standards, including fixed payments over 10 to 25 years and benefits for timely payments. Outstanding loan balances are forgiven after 30 years. What do you think about the implications of this bill? Are the trade-offs between tax cuts and social services a fair exchange? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. Your opinion on balancing fiscal prudence with essential social support could shed light on these critical debates.